It's a cool, crisp night in the Big Apple, New York. It's a backdrop for tonight's game from the Meadowlands in East Rutherford. An AFC East Divisional matchup. Two teams desperate for a win. The New England Patriots and the New York Jets meet for the 64th time. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender. Tonight, two teams looking for their first win of the year. Two teams who had much higher expectations for the 92 season. A lot of people felt that the Jets would be the next elite team, but they're 0-4. The Patriots, on the other hand, they went from 1-15 to 6-10. That was the third most improved record in the NFL, but they've lost all three of their games. So combined, they're 0-7, 0 for September. And Pat Hayden, we can, I think, show why these two teams have not won a game.
Well, you know, you're right. And it's one of those good news, bad news stories, kind of, Gary. The bad news, obviously, they have not won a game. The good news is it's very easy to understand why. We have a few statistics to show you, which really kind of underscore the very reason. Let's take a look at some of those graphics. The fewest yards penalized per game. Miami coming in today was the #1 ranked team, only 16 yards a game. You see what the Jets in New England doing, 71 yards and 65 yards. This is a critical statistic, I think. The takeaway, giveaway ratio. Kansas City coming in today at +8. New England ranked 27th in the league at -10. The Jets -4, and their defense has caused 10 turnovers, so their offense has turned over the ball an awful lot. Now, the rushing yards, and this is where the Jets have to play well tonight. Buffalo, 166 yards a game. The Jets last year were averaging 135 yards a game rushing. So that tells a big story for the Jets. And the fewest times sacked, Dallas, only 2. And you see what's happening with New England and Jets. So those statistics really tell you the story, Gary. Now, you can look at those and say, we got a lousy game here. And if both teams continue to play like that, we may well. But if one team corrects the mistakes, they'll win tonight. And if both teams correct those mistakes, you have a chance of having a competitive game.
Pat, even though neither team has won a game, they are committed to the young quarterbacks. For instance, Hugh Millen, the Patriots signed him to the largest contract in the history of the franchise.
And I think young teams trying to build an organization, a franchise, need to get committed to a quarterback. And they did that a year ago. And Hugh Millen came in and surprised a lot of people and played pretty well last year. He is a solid quarterback. But even though this is his 5th year, he is still an inexperienced quarterback. And this season was his very first one where he opened the season as a starting quarterback. And that's a different kind of responsibility, I think, Gary. Now, New England tonight, to try to get out of their funk, they're going to throw the ball on first down and try to keep Hugh Millen loose.
The Jets, on the other hand, they have flatly stated that Browning Nagel is their quarterback. Bruce Conslett said, case closed.
Well, and that's good, too, I think, for them. Because I think if you have a team struggling with confidence and a young quarterback, what you need to try to do is provide an environment for that young quarterback to be as successful as you possibly can. And for the Jets, that means running the football tonight. The Jets have proven the last 4 weeks they're not a good come-from-behind team. The stars for the Jets tonight need to be that offensive line. And if the Jets can run tonight, they'll win the game.
Well, the Jets are trying in every way to get some psychological advantage. This is Pat Leahy, who's going to be honored at halftime. The #3 scorer in the history of the NFL. He was a field goal kicker for the Jets for 18 seasons. Had to retire because of back problems. And so before the game, he met with his team, his former team, and hoped to give them a little impetus as they come into this game. We talked about a cool, crisp day in the area. 56 degrees at kickoff time. The wind's northeast at 14. As some of the Patriots are saying, it's much better than we were here last year when the wind was a real factor in the game. The man called Coach Mack, Dick McPherson, Mr. Energy, if you will. Remarkable job a year ago, taking his team to 6 victories. 3 of those victories against playoff teams. He really stole some games a year ago.
Well, you know, it's one thing to go from 1-15 to 6-10, but to get to that 8-8 and beyond that, you just can't do it on emotion. You have to have some players, and they have to have #1 draft picks that turn out playing like #1 draft picks, guys who dominate.
Well, his counterpart is Bruce Conslett, who is 45 years old, the 5th youngest in the NFL. He was 6-10 his first year, and then 8-8 last year, taking the Jets to their first playoff spot since 1986. And Conslett A team that on paper looks so much better than 0-4. And one thing he wants to do is be able to run the football.
Well, I think there was a lot of optimism around the Jets this year, and I think maybe you get diluted by the 8-8 record the Jets had a year ago, because remember, they did not beat a team with a winning record. Now, I do think Bruce Coslett has got the franchise moving in the right direction. He's decided on a young quarterback, that guy right there, Brownie Nagel. He's got his right finger taped again tonight, taking some snaps on that. He's got that injured right finger. And he has a plan. I mean, the Jets do have a plan. And the thing is, you talk to the Jets, they say, yeah, we're disappointed about being 0-4, but it's the first weekend of October. There's no one panicking here, but they are concerned.
And so the Jets have won the toss. They have elected to receive. Charlie Bauman will be kicking off for the Patriots. McMillan and Mathis will go back deep. And we're underway at the Meadowlands. It'll be Mathis who will bring it out. The ball has come loose at the 30-yard line. The Patriots say they have it. The turnovers continue to plague the Jets. They had 14 coming into the game, and that's number 15.
Well, just incredible. I mean, with teams with young quarterbacks that both these teams have, turnovers will be the difference in this football game, or all the football games. Until your quarterback matures and can win games by himself, the turnovers will decide them. And flip it over, though. The Patriots, again, they feel they need some big plays. They've only had one play inside the 20 the entire season and have not scored a point the first half this year.
Terrence Matthews fumbled. Todd Collins with a fumble recovery. It's a 29, first down. To Leonard Russell, and he's hit instantaneously by Bobby Houston, and help arrives. Russell, who had a career-high 116 yards a year ago against the Jets, didn't get anything going. They lose yardage, lose 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up second down as Hugh Millen. You can see those 6 interceptions. He suffered 2 of those in the first game against the Los Angeles Rams. Russell has come out of the football game, and now John Vaughn joins John Stevens in the backfield. Second and 14 officially. Millen has it stripped. The ball is going to be picked up by Gene Chilton, the center, and Chilton fumbles the ball. Or does he have it? Let's wait and see. The ball got away from Chilton. As a ball very elusive in the early going, the Patriots have maintained possession as John Stevens saved it.
Well, you said it's easy to understand why the teams are 0-7. And it's been turnovers like that have been killing them. I mean, and then it happens. They turned it over twice on the same play.
That was Mercereau, Scott Mercereau, who separated the ball. 3rd and 20. Millen stepping up. Stevens makes the catch. He's to the 25, fighting for the first down. He needs to get to the 19. He's going to be a couple of yards short of that first down. They get a lot of it back. A 17-yard gain on the play.
Well, John Stevens was too open on that play. I mean, you have 3rd and forever. I mean, there wasn't a defender within 5 yards of Stevens in that play. And yet, certainly he didn't get the first down, but it sure gives their field goal kicker a chance, and he hasn't had too many this year.
Well, you're right about that. He's tried one. He missed a 38-yarder earlier. And as you can see here, the Patriots are looking for their first points of the first half. Charlie Bauman out of West Virginia is 0 for 1. He scored 1 point this year on a PAT. 38-yard attempt. Tom Hodson to hold. Bauman's kick is on the way, and the kick is no good. And so, after getting the turnover, the Patriots cannot convert. We're scoreless in the early going of this game.
I mean, it's been mistakes like that from the opening bell on the opening game of the season.
So Brownie Nagel will now get the chance to take a snap. He's experiencing some serious growing pains. He's started 3 games thus far in his career, turned the ball over 7 times. 30-yard line. They'll start this drive, and the handoff to Baxter, the fullback, Brad Baxter, who scored their only rushing touchdown, and they came last week. Offensively, the Jets up front have had some problems protecting their quarterback. They are very excited about the veteran leadership of Jim Sweeney at center. He can play all those positions. They've had some holding problems on the left side. Thomas and Baxter, Toon and Moore, excellent wide receivers with good height, which will give the Patriots smaller cornerbacks some difficulty. 2nd and 9. Handoff coming to the Jets out to the 30-yard line, very close to the first down. A nice run by Blair Thomas. Thomas, their leading rusher. It's going to be a first down as we set now. Defensively, the Patriots, Agnew and Goad, just a tough old country kid at that nose tackle spot. Tippett's been around since that Super Bowl that the New England Patriots were in. Singleton is back from a groin injury. Hurst is their best defensive back, but they have no interceptions, only 1 turnover thus far in the season. From the 31, handoff to Baxter, and Baxter out of Alabama State brings it out to the 34-yard line. Gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
I think it's key for players in a game like this, where you are really struggling for confidence, is to try to play loose and be relaxed, because generally when you do, you play better. But I think when players sense it's October and you haven't won a game yet, you're tight, particularly the home team.
Both coaches talked about pressing too much. On a 2nd down and 7. Nice bootleg action now by Nagel, being chased by Tim Goad. Gets it up the field. The intended receiver was Troy Sadowski, the tight end, but he fell down at the 45.
Well, he was a secondary receiver because Nagel was trying to get that ball to Mark Boyer, the tight end, but Chris Singleton, the outside linebacker, was not fooled and took it away. Now, the Jets are going to run the ball, and number 72 for the Patriots is Tim Goad. He is the nose tackle, and he's going to have to make a lot of plays in the run and some in the pass as well. But if you have to be solid down the middle versus the run.
3rd down. You can see what the Jets have done thus far. 25th in the league on a 3rd and 6. They go with some time and over the middle, intended for Freeman McNeil, who comes in as a 3rd down back. And so it's going to be 3 and out, and they're going to have to punt the football. Louis Aguiar will come in and punt for the Jets.
Well, you know, each offensive team has had a series, and I know the coaches and I know the quarterbacks wanted to have that first series be successful. I mean, just to try to get some of the load off them, but neither offense has been successful on their first series.
Walter Stanley, who began the year with the Chargers back. He led the NFL in punt returns in '89. Aguiar hits a very fine punt. Stanley inside the 15. And Stanley just short of the 25-yard line. So the Patriots will set it up there with 10:07 left in the first quarter. That was a 52-yard punt by Aguiar. A 12-yard return. It's a scoreless game here. Two teams looking for their first win.
Do you ever feel that your present car or truck is being worked on?
Patriots, 2 AFC East rivals, as from the 25 now, the Patriots will have the football. Hugh Millen, great desire to want to win. They just want him to relax a little bit. Out of the University of Washington. Off it comes to Russell. Leonard Russell draws the crowd, runs into the teeth of the defense. Mercereau, Scott Mercereau is over there first. Let's look now offensively at this Patriots team. They really have some pretty good football players up front, especially Bruce Armstrong. He is a Pro Bowler. They feel he's playing as well as he's ever played. Chung is their #1 draft pick, the 13th pick in the first round. Harlow coming back from back surgery. We talked about Russell and Stevens. Irving Fryer has really gotten a new attitude since Dick McPherson took over. 2nd and 10. Millen Bouncing in front of him is a pocket. He dumps it off to Leonard Russell, and the 245-pound running back is out to the 31-yard line. It'll bring up third down as Lonnie Young coming over from the safety spot to make the stop. The Patriots defensively. Let's check that the Jets defensively have a lot of changes. Guns move over to left end. Fraze is now coming to right tackle because Jeff Loggeman and Dennis Byrd are out with injuries. Houston, Clifton, and Lewis are the linebacking core. And Hasty is a very fine football player. Probably doesn't get the notoriety that he so deserves. Young is a big key in this game. They're going to really blitz in and cause some havoc, they hope. 3rd and 3. Hand up to John Vaughn. And Vaughn has the first down as he brings it out to the 40-yard line. Direct snap to Vaughn in the shotgun. And the former Michigan Wolverine eventually stopped by Mo Lewis at the 40.
You know, not a bad thought process there by the New England Patriots. It was 3rd and 3 passing situation, but what the Jets are doing is playing 2 safeties as linebackers. And they came up and they ran the ball. You see, Lonnie Young came up and played at a linebacker. Brian Washington, the strong safety, played middle linebacker. And then they just ran a draw inside, and a big lineman took out the safeties. They pick up the first.
The first just short of the 40. And off to Russell. Russell trying to get the corner, and he is stopped, and here comes a flag. Kyle Clifton, the middle linebacker over there. Good open field stop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this Patriot offense, Gary, is not good enough to make long drives. For the Patriots to win, they need big chunks of yardage on first down. And generally, that's where you have an opportunity to create big chunks of yardage on first down because it's the easiest down to throw.
Well, as you can see, the holding call against the Patriots.
Holding, offense, number 85. 10 yards, repeat first down.
That's Pro Bowl tight end Marv Cook guilty of that. Well, these are numbers that Dick McPherson just as soon not look at.
Yeah, but they do tell the story. I mean, they really do tell the story. Now, what you have is and I think the 1-0 field goals and 1 extra point by your field goal kicker when you're playing your 4th game is remarkable to me, quite honestly.
It may be a record.
Yeah, I believe so. But they have not had not one single big play all year long. And the only guy really on their offensive roster who can provide that is Irving Fryer.
1st and 20 now after the penalty. Millen far side and cannot make the catch. John Stevens. Stevens trying to catch the ball at the 32-yard line. Trying to stretch it a little bit that time. Stretch the defense. Brim was defending on the play for the Jets.
Well, Millen was saying yesterday that the Patriots have 2 different offensive pass packages. The first one is where he looks for the backs first, in the short zones, and then goes deep to the wide receivers, like on that pass. And the second package, and that's where they're trying to make up some yards for a 3rd down play. Second package is where they look deep to the wide receivers, then to the tight end, and then down to the backs.
2nd and 20. Millen is 2 of 3, going up top, trying to hit the big play receiver Fryer, and Irving Fryer's got it at the 31. That's the guy Pat was talking about. Is asked to provide some fireworks, and that is a 39-yard gain all the way to the 31 of the New York Jets.
Irving Fryer still can get up top. Now in his 9th year, he's the #1 draft pick. 1984. Hasty's got him covered. That is an absolutely perfectly thrown ball by Millen and well-timed by Fryer. And the reason it's well-timed, Gary, he knows if he puts his hands up too soon, Hasty's going to strip him. So Irving Fryer waits the ball's right on top of him to make the catch.
That is the longest gain of the year for the Patriots. At the 31. Millen, play action. Nice fake on the play, and then he gets buried. Coming up quickly was Paul Fraze, who used to play for Dick McPherson at Syracuse. And after the play action really froze everyone, Fraze recovered and throws him for an 8-yard loss on the play.
Well, this was a play that Dick Corey, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, thought would be a touchdown. They thought they could get John Vaughn in the corner of the end zone, but Fraze gets right through Gene Schilt in the center and makes a play. And Vaughn was covered actually downfield.
Well, they had a 2nd and 20 and were able to convert earlier. Now they have a 2nd and 18 back at the 39-yard line. Look at those sacks. You don't think that does get you black and blue? 2nd and 18, and he's going to go down again. Marvin Washington. And they're piling them up.
Well,
they suffered 13 sacks in the first 2 games, and they may be on that course again. That's a 7-yard loss on the play.
You know, the old saying, if the meek inherit the earth, these offensive linemen may soon be land barons. Because Hugh Millen is taking way too many shots. Way too many shots.
I noticed you winced on the last one.
Yeah, now, remember, the Jets don't have their 2 best pass rushers. There are 3 #1 draft picks in that offensive line for the Patriots, but it's a very young offensive line.
3rd down and 25 yards to go. Millen's going to go down. The ball is loose. Chasing it is Criswell, and who's got it? The ball is loose at the 32, and the Jets have it. Wow. Marcus Turner, I think, is the man who recovered the ball for the Jets, number 23.
That is Hugh Millen's fault, though. I mean, I know it's a big sack and all, but when you get the duress, you feel the pressure, you have to secure the ball. I mean, he's been under duress all season, and again, it happens tonight. But you have to feel that. You have to tuck the ball away just like a running back would, because in that situation, you become a running back.
It was Mo Lewis who stripped the ball, and eventually Turner came up with it. At the 36, 1st down, the Jets. In motion is Boyer, the tight end, Baxter, and he'll be tackled by Ray Agnew, number 92, who was there first, as they're able to make it to the 35-yard line. A gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 yards to go.
The Jets want to be an NFC East team. They want to run the football, be a combination of power and finesse. I mean, Bruce Cosler would love to be the Washington Redskins, or have the same kind of thing. You pound them, you play action fake, and then you hit your wide receiver up top, because he's got outstanding wide receivers who can catch the ball downfield.
2nd down and 8. Sprint draw handoff to Blair Thomas. Thomas to the 30. He's got the 1st down inside the 25. Ray Agnew doubling back to make the stop. A 12-yard pickup on the play. Thomas has not given them the big play. They keep expecting him, the #1 draft pick they had in 90, to explode.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to be a 40 or 50-yard type of runner, Gary, but I do believe he can give you 7 and 8 type of yards, every now and then give you a 15 or 20-yarder. And again, with this style of play, that can be effective if you can get a lot of 4-yard runs at a Blair Thomas. You're going to win the game with their wide receiver.
1st down at the 24. Boyer comes in motion, handoff to Thomas, and he is greeted by Eugene Lockhart, who last week had 9 tackles. The former Dallas Cowboy starting because Vincent Brown still out with a neck injury.
Well, Eugene Lockhart is a 1st down player, as you see him coming off the field now on 2nd down. As Brownie Nagel with a sore finger almost missed that exchange. His hands are spread very wide apart, unlike most quarterbacks that have one hand underneath the other. His are side by side.
2nd down now, 13 yards to go. Again, Thomas inside the 25 to the 20 and goes out of bounds at the 19, about 5 yards short of the 1st down, as we have 3:46 left to go in a very unusual first quarter. Both teams having a tough time hanging on to the football. Thus far, nobody on the scoreboard, but we come now to a 3rd down, and let's make it 6 yards to go.
Again, Freeman McNeil has checked in for the Jets. Now in his 12th year, there's not too many 12-year running backs around who come in and block and still run and catch the ball on 3rd down.
And he's the all-time leading rusher for the Jets. Nagel stepping up. The ball comes loose. It came out of his grasp. It'll be incomplete. Now, I don't know if the finger's causing that. You would know as a quarterback. He's had so much trouble with the index finger.
Well, you know, there's a tape on his right hand. And I think, and he said to us yesterday, is that you do sacrifice something with the tape. I mean, because you don't have a full grip on the ball.
Now, his arm has to go in a downward motion.
That is a
fumble, isn't it?
It should have been a fumble.
Well, instead, they're going to attempt a 37-yard field goal. This will be the first for Kerry Blanchard, who they signed this week. He's been with the Saints. Holding will be O'Brien. Blanchard's kick is on the way, and Blanchard has given the Jets a 3-0 lead.
There we go. Now we got a game.
So he has a successful debut with New York. Jason Stravosky was the guy he replaced. 3-0. Looked like possibly Brownie Nagel didn't have that arm.
No, it was a fumble. No, it was a fumble. But how about you, Millen? 4 sacks already tonight. We're still in the first quarter, aren't we?
Louis Aguiar hits this one straight up in the air. Kevin Turner calls for the fair catch. And at the 26-yard line, the Patriots have the football, trailing 3-0. So Nagel, a very interesting turn of events, had set his team up for the field goal, giving them the 3-0 lead. They'll be back to the Meadowlands in just a moment. From it looks like it should have been a fumble.
No, I believe it definitely was a fumble, and as you follow it through, again, the ball has to be going forward. It's not. Okay, he was still going back. One of the Patriots, I think it was Rod Smith, ultimately made the recovery, so it should have been the Patriots' ball right there.
Instead, it was ruled incomplete. They settled for a field goal of 37 yards, and that's where we stand right now. A lot of movement up front. A flag on the play. Millen tried to make the exchange, never did get it done with Leonard Russell. But let's see. Right now, it's a Jets ball, but let's see what the flag is all about. We've already had 3 turnovers in this game, 4 sacks by the Jets,
and about 4 other fumbles that weren't turnovers.
He just never got the handoff completed. Graves, I think, had it.
Left side of the line.
Ooh,
5 yards. First down.
But now, you Millen's even getting sacked on the running plays.
He took a pretty good shot after he tried to make that exchange from the backside. So instead, the Patriots will maintain possession. We'll have a 1st and 5. Stevens and Russell in the backfield. Russell out of Arizona State, able to punch it forward to the 35-yard line, a couple of yards short of the first down. The Patriots now with a good chance to pick up the first down with a 2nd and 2.
You know, offensive linemen, we talked about the Patriots being a young offensive line. I think nowhere in a team do you need more repetition and teamwork in the offensive line, but a lot of rookies and second-year players. And you need that teamwork. You want the teamwork of like a course line. You don't want them blocking like a course line, but you want them playing like that, having the same kind of feel for one another.
You don't want them to look like a course line either. Russell's got the first down, I think. He stumbles forward. They had 3 #1 draft picks on the Patriots line. One of those Chung this year. Russell stumbling forward did get the first down. Here's the 3 picks. #1, Chung. Harlow, a #1 pick a year ago, and Armstrong, who's been to 2 Pro Bowls.
You know, I was talking to Rod Umanek, the offensive line coach of the Patriots before the game, and he said, you got to remember about offensive linemen and why it's so hard to come in and play right away early is that there's no space between offensive linemen and defenders. You know, receivers have space between defensive backs, and quarterbacks can get away from the run. But linemen, you have somebody right in your face right now.
With a first down, dumps it off to Russell. Russell with a fine catch, and he's going to lose a yard on the plays. He couldn't get turned up the field. Brian Washington is over there. Gunn is over there. Also Kyle Clifton, who's led them in tackles 6 of the last 8 years, number 59.
Well, the Patriots thought tonight that first down was the critical down for them, that they had to get some production out of the passing game on first down. And it makes sense because in the NFL and substitution football, you have 2 or 3 guys on defense on first down who are run defenders. And then that's when you have the chance of the greatest success. But thus far, the Patriots have not had a lot of success throwing the ball downfield on first down.
2nd down and 11. Cook comes in motion. And Millen almost stumbles, or does stumble, coming out from under center, gets it off to Cook, and Cook makes the catch to the 45. He's 3 yards short of the first down. Mo Lewis that time making the stop. So Millen that time had a little footwork trouble, but still made the completion to Cook, who last year caught 82 passes.
Hugh Millen is a big quarterback. I mean, he is 6'5". And I think for a big guy, he still has a little bit of movement in the pocket. I mean, he's not going to, outrun you like a Randall Cunningham might, but he can still move around and buy himself a little bit more time. He's a solid player.
5 of 6 for 69 yards. Millen and tried to throw it to Russell, who was still making his break. He got tangled up with linebacker Mo Lewis. Could not get pinned up the field to locate the ball, so it brings up a 4th down.
4th and 4 from the 45.
And so John McCarthy will come in and punt the football, the former Purdue player who played some quarterback as well as punter. And Rob Carpenter, another guy who played for Dick McPherson at Syracuse, back to the 15. Very good hang time. Gets it high. Carpenter, no fair catch. And he brings it up to the 19-yard line. The Jets will have it there. They have a 3-0 lead, a 42-yard punt, a 6-yard return. Brownie Nagel really got off to a good start, Pat, in his first game of the year. Look at these numbers, 366 yards.
Yeah, but I think it may have given the Jets some false confidence that they thought, well, we can win throwing the football. That Brownie Nagel is everything that we had hoped and so on and so forth. And really, this is a team that wants to run the football, wants to play action. I mean, he's a terrific faker. I mean, Bruce Kosler has always had quarterbacks who are great fakers that set up play action passes, and that's what they want to do.
Baxter and Thomas in the backfield. Nagel setting up, pressure coming up the middle. Got a block from Sweeney. Comes rolling to the near side, and he gets across the 22 to the 23-yard line. The veteran Fred Smerlis was coming after him, running for all he was worth, as we have come now to the end of this first quarter of play. The Jets with a 3-0 lead. A 37-yard field goal is the difference. At the Meadowlands, and they've got him in a cage, but he's getting ready to come out at halftime. Here's Bob Neal.
Thank you, Gary. After bringing those donuts down here, I need to be in a cage with these surly Jet fans. Coming up at halftime, we're going to be talking to the Chief Executive Officer of the New England Patriots, Sam Jankovich, about the franchise. It's a troubled franchise. And Ernie Johnson Jr. in Atlanta has highlights of the Phoenix upset over Washington. You think the Miami win over Buffalo was big. How about that one?
I guess 17-0. The Skins led at a halftime. Here is Nagel now giving off to Blair Thomas. Thomas being hemmed in and squirts out for a yard gain to the 25. Chris Singleton there to make the stop. Thus far, after 1 quarter of play, the Jets have 0 yards passing.
Yeah, well, when you start to lose, it's hard to believe in yourself. And I think by the nature of the position of quarterback, you have to be a natural leader. But I think with a young quarterback like Brownie Nagel, who hasn't done it yet, it's difficult to be a leader. And when you're 0-4, the team needs some leadership.
3rd down now. 4 yards to go. Nagel to Terrence Matthews. He makes a great catch. Terrence Matthews makes the catch at the 48. Mo Hurst defending on the play. A 23-yard gain. And that shows you the arm strength of Nagel.
Well, it also shows you what Terrence Mathis can do when the ball's in the air. Now, interesting, Bruce Coslett said yesterday about Mathis, this guy can really maneuver his body. And you see there, he knew where the sideline was. He ran the corner route. He knew exactly when the ball was going to be at the peak of its flight. He didn't wait for it to come down. He climbed the ladder. He makes the catch and then stays inbound.
He had a great game against the 49ers earlier this year. Caught 4 balls for 111 yards. 1st down. Nagel, far side, intended for Al Toon. Defending on the play was Randy Robbins, a former Denver Bronco, brings up 2nd down. They call Nagel Nuke because he has such a strong arm, and he can reach all the corners of a field. He can throw any pass you want him to throw.
Yeah, there's no doubt about his arm, but he's had 14 passes dropped this year, sometimes because he throws the ball too hard, and sometimes the ball comes out with a nose down, and the ball's a little bit harder to catch when a quarterback throws the ball with a nose down.
2nd down, 10 from the 48. The protection is excellent. And as an end result, they complete the pass to Rob Moore coming over the middle. And Moore has it at the 49-yard line. Singleton there to make the stop. That was absolutely picture-perfect blocking up front that time by the Jets, giving him time, and it's now 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
Rob Moore is a very versatile receiver. He's number 85 right there in the middle of the screen. Now, he can run by any defensive corner in the league. And a lot of speed guys won't do this, where there are a lot of linebackers and guys who wear number 50s, and you know, receivers don't like that. But Rob Moore can give you the crossing route, and then he can blow by you on the go route.
Nagel again with protection on target, and the catch is made by Chris Burkett. They have so many fine wide receivers. They bring Burkett in a moment ago. They had Carpenter returning the punt, Mathis with the catch. Then you can add to that Toon and Moore. That's a lot of good people outside.
Yeah, you're talking about Nagel's arm strength. I mean, this is a pretty good shot. A nice frozen shot, and Burkett, watch after the catch. He knows where the first down marker is, and he's trying to get it, and he did.
He did get it.
That's a heads-up play by Burkett.
From the 41, first down. Blair Thomas inside the 40, maybe to the 39-yard line. He had a high for the year of 69 yards last week.
And we said at the beginning of this broadcast tonight, for the Jets to win, the offensive linemen have to be the stars for the Jets, I believe. And their blocking schemes are a little bit different. I mean, it's all zone blocking. They block the guy in the area. And the other thing is they kind of block horizontally. They want to push you out rather than vertically. They're not trying to pancake you. They're just trying to push you to the side and let the running back pick a spot.
2nd and 9 for the Jets. Tight end in motion. Nagel standing tall, gets the completion inside the 35-yard line to Al Toon, who rolls up with it. Toon now has caught a pass in 97 straight games. Don Maynard, the only receiver with more catches in the history of this Jets organization. 3rd down now, and still 3 yards to go.
You know, Brownie Nagel, I thought, said some interesting things about his receivers. Kind of went through all of them yesterday, how they are different. And the thing he said about Al Toon is that, hey, he's the kind of find-the-hole kind of receiver. But not only does he find the open spot, the hole, he finds the quarterback. So I can see him. I can make eye contact with Al Toon.
The Jets have asked for a timeout. 11:04 to go in the first half, and the Jets with a 3-0 lead.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you.
The truck leader board. Did you know that the AFC East is the only division with all their teams playing in a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Well, you looked ahead, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just asking the question. That was a rhetorical question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But look at this. I don't think a lot of people are aware of that, so we thought we'd throw that up to you. And the Dolphins, Colts, Bills, Jets, and Patriots. And, of course, the Jets in the Joe Namath era.
Well, you know, you mentioned Joe Namath. I think it's one of the albatrosses that the Jet franchise has. Everybody is still talking about the Joe Namath era. It's as if he's still the guy, still playing. As great as Joe Namath was, they've got to have Brownie Nagel usher in the new era.
3rd down and 3 as we come back after the Jets timeout. Blair Thomas, he's going to get the first down and more. 25 to the 20 to the 19. The Jets are now 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions in this drive. That's a 15-yard gain, and David Howard made the tackle.
Take a look at the end zone, and we talked about how they try to block you horizontally and not vertically. See, they're pushing them out to the sideline, not trying to knock them down. And then with a cutback runner like Blair Thomas, you just pick a spot.
And that spot ended up at the 19-yard line for the Jets. Baxter in the backfield. Here is Baxter. Baxter is able to take it close to the 16-yard line. Baxter is a thumper in the estimation of Bruce Coslett. He'll knock you backwards. Last year, he rushed for 11 touchdowns. The last 2 years, he's rushed for 17. That is 3rd best in the National Football League. 2nd down and 8.
Think about Brownie Nagel thus far in this game, too, Gary, is he is a terrific play-action taker. I mean, every run, it looks like he has the ball. And sooner or later, that ball and throw it downtown.
11th play of the drive right here. Play action. Nagel clears to Boyer, the tight end, to the 10, dragged down at the 8, and that'll be a 1st and goal. Eugene Lockhart tackled Boyer, who Kozlik said is vastly underrated. That's a 9-yard pickup on the play.
Well, the play action pass came sooner rather than later, but it was set up, Gary, by the last 3 or 4 runs when he didn't have the ball, but it looks exactly the same. The offensive linemen for the Jets make it look exactly like a run. And when offensive linemen make it look like the run, you're going to have some receivers open.
1st and goal at the 8. It was 5 of 6 in this drive. Far side, the catch is made by Rob Moore. He's out at the 2. It'll bring up 2nd and goal there.
Now, you have to have an incredibly strong arm to throw this pass. I mean, it's only a 5 or 6 yard game, but the ball's in the air. I mean, never got off 8 feet off the ground. Or what am I saying? 8 feet, 5 feet off the ground. I mean, that is a remarkable throw by Brownie Nagel.
2nd and goal. Gives to Baxter. Baxter in for the touchdown. And so Brad Baxter has both of the Jets' rushing touchdowns this season. This one a 2-yard run. Kerry Blanchard to add the point after, out of the hold of Ken O'Brien. And Blanchard has made it a 10-0 game. That was an 81-yard drive and 13 plays, taking 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and Baxter finishes it off.
Water on a golf course is a hazard. In a fire, it saves lives. In North America, more than 30,000 people will die or be injured by fire. Automatic fire sprinklers protect lives and property.
Haven't had a lot to cheer about, but they are excited now as their team on top 10-0. Baxter with a 2-yard touchdown run. Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden as the Jets now establishing some control. That offensive line doing a remarkable job on that drive.
Well, in pass protection and in running, opening up some lanes.
Aguiar kicks it very high and short again. Ben Coates lets it go out of bounds very wisely. Aguiar's hit 2 kickoffs almost straight up in the air. Now Blanchard can kick off. In the past, Swarovski did not kick off well, so Aguiar got the duties. You would think maybe Blanchard would be called on.
The ball would be put in play at the 35-yard line.
It didn't look like he was necessarily trying to do that, was it?
I don't think so. And Blanchard's saying, well, I'll kick off. Just give me a chance. The former Oklahoma State standout, he was active games 3 and 4 for the Saints and signed this week. This aerial view of the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New York, where right now the Jets enjoy a 10-0 lead from the 35 after the kick went out of bounds. The Patriots will start this drive. And off to Leonard Russell as Lonnie Young saw something and came sprinting up from his safety spot and ran up and filled the hole and made the stop and held Russell to a yard gain on the play.
Well, Lonnie Young, and I think you mentioned it in the first quarter, has to have a big game tonight because they're asking Lonnie Young to do a number of things. To support on the weak side run, which he did right there. He'll blitz some tonight, and then on 3rd downs, he's going to cover Marv Cook, man for man, the tight end for the Patriots, man for man.
That is a full menu, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
On the 2nd down, Hugh Millen, he's going down again. That's the 5th sack of the game. Marvin Washington was there. That's going to be his 3rd sack of the season. The former Idaho standout who was quite a basketball player for the Vandals.
Well, Marvin Washington has always been a pretty good pass rusher, but he has to play every down now because of the injuries to Loggeman and Bird. But when it's passing time, it comes to be second and long and third and long. Marvin Washington has enough shape. He can make guys miss. He looked like a running back there as he made a couple of offensive linemen miss and made the sack.
They didn't think they'd have any pass rush in this game.
You're right. I thought they had a manufacturer one. Now they have 5 sacks.
Loss of 9, third and 17. Millen to Cook. And the usually sure-handed Cook. In fact, what they say about Cook is the ball is there, he'll catch it. He dives for passes in practice. He's so good with the work ethic. That's just not the Marv Cook you would expect.
But, you know, you can see it in his eyes, and I think you can see it in the eyes of this whole Patriot team. This is a team that is frustrated and really struggling for confidence. And you can't win if you're not confident.
McCarthy will punt from the 12. Rob Carpenter will go back. He hits a very fine punt. Carpenter backing up at the 23. To the 30, 35, and dropped at the 37-yard line. 49-yard punt that time by McCarthy. 14-yard return by Carpenter. 10-0, the Jets with the lead.
Do you ever feel that
It should. That's Leroy Neiman, who is here documenting this game, which the Jets now are getting the better of it. 10-0, they have the lead, and they have the ball at their own 37.
Well, you hope he's just not drawing an interception or a fumble or something like that.
Nice fake by Nagel. Pulls it out. Up the field and intercepted. The first interception of the year by the Patriots, and that's Randy Robbins. And that really may give this Patriots team a lift. Their first interception.
Not maybe. That's got to give them a lift. I mean, that's got to happen. Now, that's another pass that looked like got away from Brownie Nagel. And you don't know whether that finger is still bothering him, but beautifully read by Randy Robbins. And when you're back there playing free safety, you have to read the quarterback, make sure someone doesn't get by you deep, which he did. He knows Moore's not going to run by him. And then he steps in front of Moore to make the interception.
8 years Randy Robbins played for the Broncos, coming over by Plan B. From the 50, the Patriots. Millen. And he's almost going to get sacked for the 6th time. Comes out of there sliding, and he gets inside the 45 to the 44, showing some pretty good mobility. Brian Washington up there to be sure he didn't continue up the field.
But you know what Millen's looking like he's doing now? Because and it happens when you get sacked this much. It looks like he's looking at the rush instead of the coverage.
Do you blame him?
No, you don't. I mean, he's been under duress every time. And if it weren't for a block by Leonard Russell right there, he gets sacked again.
2nd down, 4 yards to go. Dick McPherson saying, I hope we can keep number 7 healthy. Russell behind the lead block of Kevin Turner has the first down. This guy is so big and so strong. He's also beat up physically, but he got the first down. And here is tonight's U.S. Marine Corps scoreboard. What a day this was in the National Football League. I don't know if you watched the Vikings game or what a comeback. They were down 20-0 in that one. But just remarkable finishes to so many games. Jeff George getting his debut on a successful note. The Dolphins look absolutely awesome today.
Keith Jackson had a big day, 4 catches and a touchdown.
The Saints now 3-2 on top of the NFC West as a pass out of Kevin Turner, and he is buried. What a tackle by Bobby Houston. The rookie from Alabama, Turner, I don't know how he held on to it, to be honest with you. As he makes the catch, gained virtually nothing on the play, and took a real shot.
Well, we're talking about this game being a game really of quarterbacks and confidence. And just what the Jets need right now is a game like this. I mean, right now they're in a groove and they're confident. And it's plays and it's tackles like that by Bobby Houston that makes you feel pretty good. Now,
look at the rest of the scores. The Broncos coming from behind to win that one. And the 49ers, look at that, 5 seconds left pulling that one out. That's the kind of day it was in the 5th week of the NFL. Millen in trouble. Number 6. The ball comes loose. They say he's down as Mark Gunn got this one.
Well, good news and bad news is, we're saying they're only 2 players away. That's the good news. The bad news is it's Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
Or an offensive lineman or 2.
I want to tell you, Millen just pushed Pat Harlow right back into Hugh Millen. I mean, Hugh Millen, again, didn't have a chance. Now, Harlow was trying to run for a score there, but the ball was down. But
that's the 20th sack they've given up this year. 6 tonight. Bobby Ross with his first win in the National Football League, and this is the one that just blows you away. That was 17-0 Washington, and they came back. Robert Massey, 2 big picks for touchdown. 3rd and 21 now. Millen over the middle to Mark Cook, and Cook has it at the 37-yard line. Still about 12 yards short of the first down. As McCarthy will come in and punt on 4th down.
Hey, Dick McPherson has got a very difficult job on his hands. Not only for the whole season. Here, his team is 0-3, and they're losing this game 10-0. And he has to keep this team up. Now, he's an emotional type of guy, an emotional kind of coach, and he can't do that. But emotion can only get you so far. Some of his players are going to have to make it happen.
So they're not able to convert that turnover into anything. McCarthy trying to keep this in the field of play. And Rod Smith tipped it back, but I think it's going to be a touchback. Rod Smith almost saved it, but couldn't. 38-yard punt. And so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. 10-0 the Jets. Well, starting tomorrow and every weekend morning, TNT presents Chips at 10 o'clock a.m. and How the West Was Won at 11 a.m. 2 kinds of westerns riding out of the old and new West. Every weekday morning starting at 10 o'clock in the morning on TNT. We'll have country and western background music. You're just, where's your boots?
That was western music. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's good.
The Jets from the 20. Boyer in motion. Blair Thomas with the ball. Stop made that time by Johnny Rembert, the inside linebacker. Gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, clearly the Patriots offense is not going to get it done tonight, or certainly they don't look like it at this stage in the game. So if it's going to happen for the Patriots, this defense is going to have to not only create a turnover, but perhaps score. I mean, you need something like, you need a sack with a quarterback fumbles the ball and somebody picks it up and scores, because the offense is certainly having their problems.
Over the middle, complete to Baxter. Baxter stumbles forward and appears to have a first down, or very close to it, at the 30-yard line. He had a lot of people in his face, but Nagel stayed in there tough, and he did pick up the first down.
You understand why quarterbacks generally don't last for 16 games. You've seen what's happened to Hugh Millen tonight, and this is what's happened to Nagel. Now, that's how you hurt a hand. You see his right index finger? He hit it on caught it on a helmet earlier in the year, but you're going to get a lot of hands into helmets and the head on the concrete surfaces around the National Football League. It is tough to keep your quarterback healthy.
Well, the Jets use another timeout. They have 1 remaining. Did you get hurt here one time with your hand? Where was it?
No, it was up in Seattle. I caught my hand in the seam of the AstroTurf. Went off with a hurt pinky.
Well, the Saints, we talked about them winning today. They go to 3-2, and they are in first place in the NFC West. And that reminds us to remind you that we'll be in the Superdome as the Rams taking on the Saints. Silver Bullet Stadium show starts at 7 o'clock. Bob Neal and company will update you on week 6 of the NFL action. And then Pat and I will be there to describe all the action as the Rams take on the Saints next Sunday, 7:30, right here on TNT. The Saints coming back and winning on the road after that disappointing loss. Jim Moore's team showed some real moxie.
Well, once again, the defense for the Saints played well. Only gave up 7 points.
First down from the 30. Blitz coming. 10 go. Tried to come up with him. Could not. Flag on the play. Completion to Freeman McNeil. And McNeil has a first down out to the 42-yard line. A lot of things happening, ending up on a 12-yard gain, but will it stand? Holding. It is against the Patriots, so it will. Larry Nimmers, our referee.
Holding. Defense, number 56. Penalty is refused. First down.
That was Andre Tippett guilty of the hold. So they'll take the play, and they'll have it first down at the 42.
Nose tackle, Tim Goad, number 72. It's just a little line stunt. Now, most teams don't have their nose tackle come this clean.
I thought it was a blitz that came through so cleanly.
Yeah, you know, the other guy stunning, Ray Agnew, sucked up a couple of blocks that allowed Tim Goad, the nose tackle, to put some pressure on Brownie Nagel.
We'll be back with the Jets leading 10-0, and they have a first down.
Slowing down.
2, the Jets start anew. Freeman McNeil in the backfield. Nagel's going to take off to the far side, buying time, gets it to 2. He's hit instantaneously. Good hit that time by Dion Lambert. He caused a fumble last week in the game. Pretty good stick there. Pick up of 6, 2nd and 4. McNeil remains in the backfield. Nagel with a rifle shot on the far side, intended for Chris Burkett, and defending on the play was Lambert, once again the rookie out of UCLA.
I think this is a really important series for the Patriot defense, quite honestly. You see Lambert trying to get his teammates fired up because they're down 10-0 now. This is a discouraged team that we've talked about. They need a lift, and one way you can get a lift is having your defense at least hold the Jets before halftime. I mean, just don't give them even a field goal attempt.
From the 48-yard line, 3rd and 4. 4 wideouts on the play, as this time the ball thrown behind Toon. I tell you, those are just like ropes the way that ball is thrown. Zipping to the near side, and Toon had no chance, and it brings up 4th down.
Okay, the Patriots have 3 timeouts. And I think what they need here, again, with any chance, is have Walter Stanley give them some kind of return. Again,
well, he's had some big games.
He has. Offense is not doing the job, so maybe special teams has to do something.
He has great confidence. The team has already nicknamed him Hammer. Aguiar trying to kick away from him. Stanley's going to get a return out of this. Up to the 20 and wrestled down at the 24.
Didn't exactly score, did he?
Nope. 41-yard punt, 13-yard return, and coming up, the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. Ernie Johnson is in our studios in Atlanta. Scores and highlights, and there are amazing highlights today. And the Patriots Chief Executive Officer, Sam Jankovic, joins the Stadium Show crew to answer questions on the Patriots' future. So stay with us for the Fruit of the Loom halftime report coming up in about 1 minute and 22 seconds left in this first half. From the 25, the Patriots with John Vaughn in the backfield. Millen right to Brian Washington, and Washington's got the interception and takes it to the 23. Washington with his first interception.
I don't know whether Hugh Millen was trying to look off and then come back to the right, but he was looking left, and without even looking to the right at all, he came back and threw it, and he threw it exactly right to. See him looking left, and he comes back to the right, trying to catch Marv Cook on the crossing route. But Brian Washington, who is a safety, was playing linebacker that time. He was playing linebacker, and I don't think Hugh Millen expected to see him there.
Well, they'll move him up with the dime package from time to time at linebacker, and it paid off there. Hand off to Freeman McNeil. Nice stop-start inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 1:09 left. The Jets have 1 timeout remaining. Ray Agnew was over there to make the stop. Angle in a hurry up as we approach a minute. Esmond's behind Burkett. That'll stop the clock with 56 seconds.
With as hard as he throws the ball, you're going to be able to put the ball some places a lot of quarterbacks can't. But you're also going to have some balls pop up, and you're going to get some interceptions.
You better be looking for that ball in a hurry. And he has that nose down, which sometimes makes it difficult to catch.
Any receiver I've ever talked to always wants to have a quarterback throw the ball with a nose up, because it's easier to get your hands around it with the nose up on the ball.
3 of 6 on third down on a 3rd and 5 coming up. He gets it off for completion inside the 10 to the 7-yard line to Rob Moore. 1st and goal for the Jets. Nagel without the huddle, getting off to the line of scrimmage, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, you know, he's got plenty of time. This is a learning experience, too, for Brownie Nagel.
And then he spikes the ball to kill the clock with 36 seconds.
You know, he still has time. They're on the 11-yard line. He still has the 1 timeout remaining. Now, here is a situation where the Jets have a distinct advantage with their receivers in the height department. I mean, they've got some guys who are 6'2", 6'4", 6'3".
Well, they average 6'3" at the wide receivers, and they like that sky pass where they'll throw it high into the end zone. Let's see if they can pull that off. 2nd and goal at the 7. Nagel to Mathis. Terrence Mathis makes a move. Touchdown, Jets. Terrence Mathis with his 2nd touchdown catch of the year. Blanchard to attempt the point after. And the Jets now with a 17-0 lead. Boy, if you're a young quarterback, it's nice to have all these receivers.
Here's Mathis, and here's Henderson. He's got a man-for-man. When he comes in motion, he just breaks out and just runs away from Jerome Henderson. And Nagel sees that as soon as the defensive back runs with a man in motion, you know you have the guy man-for-man, and that's the guy you want to throw it to. That's what motion can do for you. It gives you a quick read. And Nagel, and that's where you need the strong arm, when you have to throw off the back foot and you have to drill it.
He had to do a somersault and get up to see the touchdown completion as Johnny Rembert was in his face. But if you're a young quarterback, what a nice situation. You have guys like Mathis, Toon, Moore. They just bring them in waves off of that Jets bench.
You know, it's interesting. We talked about the size of these Jet receivers being 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", and such. I really think San Francisco, several years ago with Jerry Rice, obviously, and John Taylor, changed the nature of the size of receivers. You're seeing more and more tall receivers. You aren't seeing as many of the little smurfs that you used to, because the big guys can break away. Because the defensive backs in the league are all still 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". The receivers are a lot taller, and you're seeing a lot of mismatches down by the goal line.
Aguiar, let's see if he can get this ball down the field a little bit. The first 2 times he's kicked it straight in the air. He gets into this one. Stanley at the 10. And he's going to finally get it out to the 18-yard line.
Jerry, you can't say anything good about the Patriots, certainly on offense tonight. I mean, defensively, they've had their moments. But offensively and on special teams, there just isn't anything that Dick McPherson can be happy about.
There's no fear in McPherson. Remember, he changed his name.
I know.
Everybody called him Dick McPherson at Syracuse, and finally he told him it was Dick McPherson. So that's the way it's going to be, right?
Well, I guess if it's good enough for Tony Dorsett and Joe Theismann, he could do it too.
17-0 with now 26 seconds left in the half. John Vaughn is out to the 25 to the 26-yard line. He wants to play more. He would have been a senior this year at Michigan. He's only 21 years old. He left after his sophomore year. Plays with great confidence, and right now the Patriots could use a dose of confidence. And Dick McPherson will go into the locker room down by 17 points as the Jets scored 10 points off of 2 Patriots turnovers. And the Jets seemingly have righted themselves. The Patriots still searching for some kind of success. The Fruit of the Loom halftime report coming up.